Okay, everyone. Hey, good people. Welcome to the Nourished Hair Podcast. We are back again. I am your host, Precious Rutlin of Precious Rutlin Consulting and nourishedhair.com. So I primarily support women and beauty professionals to help them revitalize and retain their hair or either their clients' hair using holistic therapies without the use of chemicals so that they can have healthy hair and feel confident about the way that they look. So if you haven't already downloaded your guide for 6 toxins that could be harming your hair, definitely message me on Instagram or on my Facebook business page at Precious Rutlin and type in the message me the word 6 toxins and I'll send you that guide. And with that said, I have my special guest here today, Darian Byram, and she is the owner of Bumblebee Scents Cosmetics, not cosmetics, I apologize, Bumblebee Skincare, Bumble
It's
Scent,
bumblescents skincare.
Lord, Bumble Scents skincare, natural skincare, and skincare therapy treatments. And I thought this was very beneficial to have her on our podcast today because she also deals with skin. And we know that skincare, especially with hair growth, is not just about the hair, it's about taking care of the skin. Your scalp is skin. And with that said, Darian has great skincare products, and she specializes in those that may have any type of dermatitis, dry skin, any type of skin sensitivities. So she's fairly new, not too new. She launched her company here in June of 2020. And I know that she's a wealth of knowledge and we're both in the same vein. We both believe in holistic hair care, holistic health. And so I wanted to have Darian on so she could just share her side of what she's seeing in skincare. So Darian, welcome.
Hello.
It is
Thanks
so
for
good
having
to
me.
have you on the show. Thank you for coming on. And I guess, can you even just tell us, like, how did you even get into creating like your own scents and then just going along the lines of the holistic path? Because you could have easily just, came up with other products and had fillers and things in them. So how did you even get into this?
So I decided to launch my brand because I have an 8-year-old. So my 8-year-old son, he's dealt with eczema since age 1. He had like minimal flare-ups before age 1, but it came full blown age 1. So they prescribed him the different creams and stuff. Like he was on about 3-4 different creams. I can't remember all the names of them, but they didn't help him. It didn't reduce it down or anything. So I went back to my roots. My mom, she always did natural products for us, like shea butters, natural soaps. And so I decided, I was like, okay, well, let me try to figure something out for my son. So I started getting like different things for him, and I was like, instead of me purchasing all this, why not just learn how to make it myself? So I started making the stuff. And during the pandemic, when I got laid off, that's when I was like, okay, so I had all but time to make stuff, and it healed him quickly. So within like a week of me using it on him, his flare-up stopped. He hasn't had a flare-up in 3 years now, well, almost 4 years now. Um, and so I was talking to my family about it. I was like, okay, it's working for him. And I'm thinking about like launching, to the public. They was like, you should do it because you have healing hands. And, they was just like, your spirit and your energy that you put into your products is also healing. So, it's not me making these products for people like, oh, I just want your money. I just really want to help your skin. I want to help your children. I want to help the grownups, everybody. Like, I have no specific age group. I just want to help people. So I started doing a lot of research, like with different natural ingredients, and natural acids, and stuff that, you know, we can either get out of fruits or that we can get out of vegetables or plants, you know, different herbs. You know, it's hundreds and thousands of different herbs and plants and stuff that we can use on our skin. So I just started researching, and so I said, okay, so let me start with the main ones that I know about the most. And honestly, making those products with those specific ingredients, I haven't changed the ingredients yet. And it's helped, you know, I've shipped my products to all 50 states. I've helped a lot of people. I feel like I've been a change to a lot of people's lives, and my products have become a staple in a lot of people's households. So, you know, just doing things like shea butter, you know, that's a natural like sunscreen. People don't know that, but, you know, it's a blocker for, you know, the sun rays, the UVB, UVAs. And, you know, like the type of vitamins that we take, like the zinc and stuff, you can use zinc oxide in sunscreen and other products. So just like researching different products and researching different ingredients, formulating stuff, seeing what goes with what, how does this feel? Is this texture good? Is this greasy? But, you know, just formulating different things and finding that one formula that I love with all of my soaps and my butter and my cleanser, like because I have a few products that I just stick to year round, and I do seasonal for other products that aren't like the biggest sellers, but my main sellers are year round, and I stick to those ingredients because it helps a lot of people with, you know, hyperpigmentation and darker spots and dry skin and all of that. So that's what really helped a lot.
That is awesome, Darian. And I'm so glad that you touched on those things, because people can easily get sidetracked going over here on YouTube, Google, seeing what, you know, influencers are using. And I swear it's like almost every ad that you see, like they're always promoting like a beauty brand or some skin, you know, some sort of skin product, whether it's cosmetics or something for the body. But like, can you share, I guess, like any tips, like if someone was just starting out and they're trying to figure out, you know, what works for their skin? Like, are there any guidelines that you could share?
Yeah, one, I would say definitely see an esthetician so you can get your real true skin type, because sometimes we'll think that we know what our skin type is, but we do specific analysis and like analyze certain ways. Like I use a Woods lamp, and that tells like the bacterial and fungal things that's going on in your skin. And that also helps to like highlight certain areas of your skin. Like some people who come to me before, they're like, oh, I have oily skin. No, you don't. You have dry skin. I see it right here. I can feel it. You just have it's looking oily right now because of what you used on your skin. So, you know, I just say if you have oily skin, a lot of myths are that, you know, you don't use oil for oil, but oily cleansers are actually really great for oily skin. It helps to not strip your skin, you know, of the natural components in your skin. So, you know, look for things that have like minerals in it, like, you know, your zincs and your titanium dioxides, and try to stay away from alcohol. If you want to have like an alcohol type feel, get some witch hazel. You know, that's something that a lot of people will be like, oh no, that's witch hazel isn't good for your skin. It actually is. It's really great. It's a toner and a cleanser. If you have more combination or even dry skin, you can use like a gel cleanser, something that's, you know, kind of wet to the touch and it's not drying and it doesn't leave a residue. So, you know, just want to look at different cleansers, you know, research, like if you want to have something that's not too harsh on your skin, you know, things that has less ingredients. Because when people put all these extra ingredients in stuff, it's you got the actives fighting the actives and the active and all of this stuff, and it's a war zone on your skin. And then you're wondering why you have all these breakouts. That's because you have all these ingredients going on your skin, and you're not looking at you're not looking at the ingredients of each product that you're putting on your skin. So honestly, in my opinion, less is more with ingredients. You know, look for the things that aren't high and like that doesn't have like a lot of parabens, and you know, that has more of those herbs in it. So you can they have like the regular like name for your ingredients, but they also in parentheses have like citrus, like apple, or like aloe vera and stuff. So like look for things that has like natural plants in it. Like, and if you read, like take time, because it's on your skin. Skin is the largest organ, it's the most complex. So take the time to really read these ingredients. If you can't pronounce it, look it up. If you can't pronounce it and you're like, what is that? You might want to look it up, because it's just detrimental to your skin, and it's important to your skin to really know what you're putting on there, because you don't want to sit here and, you know, use a product and be like, oh, well, this product is the one that's breaking me out, when it really might be this one, because you might have an allergy reaction to this certain ingredient that's in it, or it might have, you know, nasty chemicals in it that you don't know is having, you know, wreaking havoc on your skin. And I say stay away from fragrance. You know, I like essential oils. If it's diluted correctly, it's great for your skin. Fragrance, no. So, you know, a lot of people, they're like, oh no, essential oils aren't good for your skin. No, they actually are. It's natural and pure. It's literally straight from the herb.
Right. And I'm glad you said that. Like over the years, especially I want to say, I guess maybe like 2019 is like when I really started getting more into the essential oils, because it seems like right around that time frame is when I noticed that my body started to change. And then like the fragrances and perfumes, like I just noticed like my body just wasn't jiving with them well. And then I started having my own issues with my skin. So it was for a while, like I just went back to the basics, like even with skincare. And I'm glad you brought that up earlier. Like I didn't use alcohol on my face or anything, but I was using, I think maybe Sea Breeze at the time, and that was like a little bit strong, you know, astringent. And so then that's when I too myself switched over to witch hazel and like other tonics. I think it was something from Burnt Bees or something, like a lighter tonic, just to help, you know, just to, you know, give me that clean feeling, but also it wasn't stripping or having my skin burn.
Even
Every time,
rose
and
water.
I'm causing inflammation. Oh yeah, even rose water. Yep, I've had that too, and I even used that also like in hair, you know, to spritz and mist the hair, because I liked how it just feels. And so I'm so glad that you brought those up, guys. So guys, if you aren't taking notes, please take notes. Darian is dropping these gems with you all today. And I love how you touched on earlier about even having, I believe it was shea butter, like as our own sunblock. So I wanted to touch on that. So like, do you have like any tips? Because I know they're like, you know, get your SPF 20 or SPF 30. And so sometimes that can get confusing, because it's like, well, do we, because I've read mixed studies on it too, like, well, do you really need a SPF that's up in, you know, SF 50, or do you need a 30? So can you kind of talk about that?
So the SPFs, the numbers are honestly the exposure. So the lower the number, the less exposure that you're going to be in the sun. If you're outside all day long, like construction workers, or at the beach all day, you want a 50, especially if your skin is prone to burn. You know, even getting like a mineral sunscreen that has like the aloe vera in it, and also shea butter, and what else? Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So titanium dioxide is more on like the, it doesn't go crazy on your skin, but it blocks the UV rays that you need. And that also helps to reduce down like the shea butter, because butter is butter. So, you know, sometimes with the butter, you have to be careful, because you don't want it to have a reverse effect. So you want to have more things with shea butter. So I'm not saying just use shea butter alone, because it's not going to work. It's just a blocker for sun. So you can have that with, I forget which sunscreen it is. I feel like it's the Black Girl Magic. I don't know. I don't remember. I know Good Molecules is a good sunscreen, and they have zinc. They have zinc oxide. That's what I use in my spa, in my suite. They have zinc oxide in it, and that helps with like cuts, burns, scars, anything like that. And it also helps to reduce your skin from, you know, having that type of burn on you. Because, you know, with the sunscreens and stuff, the mineral and physical sunscreens are better than the chemical ones. Because, you know, the chemical ones have more leading causes to cancers and stuff like that. But the mineral sunscreen is great for, like, if you're going out, like, driving for a while, you know, I say put more on the side that you're driving on. If you're a passenger princess, go on the passenger side and sometimes put more on this side because you'll burn easier on this side, just because, unless your windows are tinted, you know. But if you're driving, I always put more on this side and I feel a lot better. If I put the same amount on my whole, like everything, I still feel more burning on this side. So I've learned to apply more for where the sun is mostly going to be exposed at. So that also helps to protect your skin. If you're doing like a 15, that means you're just regular going to work. Like I would have used a 15 today because I haven't been outside really, besides to go to appointments and stuff. But like a 30 is if you're going to like the pool, but you're not going to be out there all day long. But the 30s to the 50s to 30s and are what's best for your skin if you're going to be outside all day. And you don't have to reapply that. The 15s you have to reapply over time. Like I think 15, 20 minutes with the SPF 50s. The 30, you want to apply like every like 2 hours or 3 hours, and the 50, you're good all day long.
But now what about like for the ladies that wear like the makeup? Because sometimes I know like with their moisturizers, so would that still apply too, or you think that's a little bit different because
so there's a SPF primer that you can use for your skin. Yes, it's in the I believe it's in the Maybelline. I believe it's either Maybelline or L'Oreal, but there's a sunscreen primer and it's SPF 15, I believe. So apply a good amount of that, and you can also apply like shea butter. I have a few makeup artists who actually use my shea butter for their primers for their clients. And they also use like the SPF foundation. So there's different things that has SPF in it. Just use a good amount. But and it goes on clear, so you're not looking purple or anything like that. So yeah, so it absorbs into the skin really well. But the primer that I use, I believe it's the L'Oreal SPF 15 primer whenever I do makeup. And I love it. I love it so much.
Now I'm guilty because I would like to tan, so I will get in that sun. I do not be putting no sunscreen.
So you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that, because then that can cause, different like sun, like the hyperpigmentation is sometimes sunspots. And so, when you get those, even like the little white, I forget the name of it, but it's like the white specks that come up, that's from not using sunscreen too. Like sometimes it can be from allergic reaction if you're outside in the ocean and, the seaweeds keep touching you. But sometimes people who are in the sun all day and don't use sunscreen, they have the white splotches that come up. And that's hypopigmentation happening. That means your melanin is not melanating like it needs to.
But I do that because, they say for the darker skin tone, it's harder for us to absorb our vitamin D. So I was like, I try to get that whenever I can, out in the sun. So,
I mean, I don't fully believe that all the time because, darker skin, they also burn, they have like a leathery look to them. And like, I know some people can't notice it, but I can notice. I notice when people aren't using the sunscreen, I'm like, ooh, you're looking crispy right now. Like you need to apply a little aloe or something on that shoulder because I see it. But they might not feel it, but it's there. I see it. So, I think that no matter your skin tone, skin complexion, everybody burns. The UV rays are UV rays. And regardless whether it's raining, sunny, cloudy, you need to wear your sunscreen because those rays are so strong, they still penetrate through those clouds onto your skin. And, it's crazy because the more people have been using sunscreen, I believe like the statistics of like skin cancers have actually reduced down. Because people are starting to get into the wave of let's put our sunscreen on, like, because a lot of people are starting to get into the skincare world and stuff ever since the pandemic happened. Like a lot of people get into the skincare world and they're actually listening, and and I love seeing it because I love watching the tutorials of people doing their routine. I see this, I'm like, yes, sunscreen, yes. and I get happy. I'm like, that's what's up. Like, a lot of people need to use sunscreen, even if it's just mineral based. I prefer mineral based. It does better for my skin. I glow all day. I'm always shining. I don't have to reapply. I don't feel dewy. I don't feel like, because sometimes you can feel your pores clogging with some sunscreens,
Yeah.
and that's how you know a lot of chemicals are in it. So like the mineral sunscreens are more airy, like it feels like it's nothing on your skin. It's like moisturizer on your skin. The ones that aren't the regular, like, chemical based ones are more like heavy. So it's just, and then you sweat and it's nasty and it's just, yeah.
And you know what, this just dropped in my spirit. I want to circle back around, because you mentioned earlier about, you noticing that your son was on, different prescriptions and none of them were working. And so I was thinking, like, for the mom that's picking up what you're putting down, like, can you give any tips for her, like, to pay attention and to notice her kid's skin? Because, like, how did you even notice that your son even had issues going on with your skin? You know what I mean? Like, how can they begin to recognize, like, I need to switch products, or, get something more
Mhm.
gentler for them?
So when you're looking at the skin and you're trying to figure the right product to use for your child that has
Mhm.
eczema, whether it's atopic or whether it's, the regular eczema, because, eczema comes from the gut too. So you need to watch
Okay.
what you're eating and stuff. So if
Right.
they're having a flare up, look at the things that they're eating too, because it's not always what they're putting on their skin.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be like, is it too much dairy that they're eating, that they're drinking? Is it too much sugars? Is it too salty? Eczema flares happen because of mainly dairy. A lot of dairy has a lot of these kids, flaring up really bad. And like my son, his was really splotchy, and like in the creases of his arms, he would get really red and like have like the white blister bumps. They would pop and they would be oozy. And so the creams I was using, he would cry. And it's because it was burning him, and his arms were redder, like they would get more red. And so I stopped using it. Usually you want to give a product, a good like week or so to use, because it has to, sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, but his wasn't getting better. So, I tried the product out, and it wasn't working that good. But when I started using my oatmeal soap on him and the shea butter on him, he had no crying. It was relief. And I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
So, just look for things like if they're showing distress, like if they're crying when you're putting it on and they're getting more red, or a rash comes up, or like oozing blisters, you might not want to use that, because they're hurting more than they are feeling better. And it's already a painful thing for some children. Eczema can be painful. It can be itchy. It can be, some people don't feel anything when they have the eczema. They just have like the look of it. And, those people, I'm grateful they don't have to feel what other kids are feeling. But, sometimes with the products, they can cause like scarring. So like if they start to scab over, that means that it was probably burning, and now they have a scab over that burn. So, just look at their face, look at their skin when you're putting these products on. Don't put too much on in the beginning, because you don't want to go crazy on their skin with it. So just use like a small amount first, see how it does. Do like a little patch test, like behind the ear or on the wrist or whatnot. Or like if they have it on their legs and stuff, put it like on the top part of their groin, and then just see how it is like in that small area. If it blisters up or rashes, you might not want to use that all over their skin, because it's going to do the same thing all over their skin. They might not have the balance in their skin to be able to combat what's the topical product that's going into their skin, because it's going deep into their pores. So, whatever goes on top of your skin goes in your pores. So you're going to feel it on the lower layers of your skin.
Mhm. And definitely, and just to touch on what Darian was just talking about here too, like, so whenever you have these skin conditions like the dermatitis or the eczema, the best thing that you can do is to manage these conditions. Like, there's been scientific study, but like there hasn't been any studies like that'll give like a complete cure of it. But like as she was mentioning, definitely watching what you eat. So paying attention both what you're putting in internally as well as externally on your body will definitely help. And with that, I wanted to bring up, I guess this was a great segue, but Darian also has a Bumble skincare camp for the teens and for the tweens and teens. So Derek, let's jump into that. Tell us about that.
Okay, so that's basically so my Bumble camp is July 22nd. So I wanted to have this camp because I don't see enough kids
Mm.
really learning skincare. You know, they're right when they're at the age of 9 to about 13, they're in that range of puberty. So, you know, you have your acne coming up, you have your skin, you have your acne, your eczema, or you're just regular breakouts. You know, you just have these things happening to your skin. You have your hormonal imbalances happening. So, you know, a lot of kids, they start to get bullied in school because, you know, of their skin. They're like, oh my God, look at your skin. Why are you looking like that? Like, you know, just to help to boost these kids' confidence. You know, I see a lot of kids, like when I'm looking at like the statistics of why kids are losing their life, some kids, you know, can't handle bullying. And when you look at the parents who talk about these kids of, oh, well, she was always being picked on, she was self-conscious about her skin or her weight or whatever the case may be, I want to reduce that down, even if that's just in my city for right now and eventually around the world. You know, it's just, I want to see these kids happy. I want to see them loving their skin. I want to see them loving who they are. And I want them to know that they're all beautiful and handsome and gorgeous, regardless of how their skin looks. But I want them to also know how to properly care for your skin, how to properly cleanse your skin, how to properly exfoliate, how to properly moisturize and, you know, protect your skin at any time of the year, every season, every whatever the case may be. I want them to know, you know, okay, I know how to take care of my skin. Okay, I got a pimple coming up. Okay, that might be because my cycle might be coming on. Oh, I have this happening. Oh, I might be stressed about testing coming up. Let me relax. Let me use this spot treatment or something. You know, the older they get, they can use those type of things. But, you know, just to enter them into the world of healthy skin. You know, they look at these celebrities and these models and they're like, oh my God, I love their skin. I love how they look. I want to look like that. Okay, well, let's start with your skin. They have great skin. They might have makeup doing it, but we can do it to where you won't need no makeup. We can get your skin looking like that naturally.
Like water.
So, mhm. So my kids love their skincare. Like my oldest son loves his routine, and he makes sure he sticks to it. And he has great skin. And he loves it. He does not like nothing on his face. I could say he's a little pretty boy. So he loves his routine. And I was just like, you know, just watching him love it, I was like, okay, I need to do this for more kids because they'll love it too. So, you know, just teaching them how to, during the camp, we'll, you know, learn the overview of skincare. We'll learn, you know, it'll be a fun way. It'll be like game type. So learning the skincare routine. We'll also do like mini facials, you know, show them how to properly do it at home. And they'll have like their own little demo done. So, you know, we'll be able to show them how to do it. Right.
That's awesome. Now, for those of y'all that want to stay connected with Darian, now her website is bumblescentsskincare.com. She's on Instagram at bumblescents skincare. And then what's the website, Darian? Is it just bumblescents.com?
So the website is bumblescentsskincare.com. And then I'm on Instagram and Facebook too.
Awesome. And I will make sure that I drop these links to everything in the show notes so you all can reach out to her as well. Before we wrap up, Darren, did you have like any last minute words or anything that you wanted to say to the guests that are listening today?
I just wanted to say thank you for having me here. And, you know, if you're feeling, you know, not confident about your skin, just know that it's cheaper for preventative than it is for, you know, corrective. So, you know, take that time on your skin. Take the time to really dive deep into what your skin is going through. go into what your daily routine is, what your daily meals are. Think about the stressors in your life. Our skin shows everything that we do, whatever we're eating, whatever we're thinking, whatever we're feeling, our skin shows it. And so, I just want you to really care about your skin, care about your aging process, because we can be 80, 90 years old and looking 60 and 50 out here. So,
You better say
okay.
it.
Okay, so just love your skin, love who you are. And if you have any questions or any type of, insecurities about your skin, you can always reach out to me and talk to me, and I'll, video you, whatever you want to do, and we can look at it and talk about it. So just love who you are and love your skin, and know that you're beautiful inside and out always.
Absolutely. Thank you, Darian. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today's podcast. Until next time, you guys take care. Be blessed.